know about the opening. It reminded me of a slightly different variation. So now, I think that White's choices here are basically between like A3 and B3. I've committed to the structure. I'm not going to be playing G3 anytime soon, and B3 is fine. The position, there's another position where this kind of thing happens, by the way, guys. It's a Nimzo Indian line where White plays knight A4. Maybe later around move 7 or 8. So I don't want to play the extended fianchetto with A3 and B4. Spinal Tap Chess. Yeah, we don't know who it was. Maybe it was the real Jennifer Shahadi and Maurice Ashley just stopping by. So, safe to say knight A4 eliminates all variations involving C5 for black. I've actually never played the knight A5 Rossolimo. It's one thing to make experimental moves with white, but it's another thing to do them with black. But I think when my friend played that knight A5, I was playing in Linares or something and in Open. I think he won that game against a strong player. But I never actually played that line against the Rossolimo. You know, when you're black, you're already a move behind, so playing experimental stuff is extra dangerous. When you're white, you have an extra tempo, so. Bishop D7. Bishop D7 is fine by me. I mean, Bishop D7, look, is not really the greatest square for the bishop on D7, so. I'm not sure that black even wants to give that piece up for a knight. But I don't really want to have my pawns doubled either. Although there are a lot of lines. I mean, look at this position. If he or she takes on A4, you know, I'm going to have play along the B file on the white squares. So I'm not all that convinced that bishop takes A4 is like a huge positional threat here. Might be able to take with the pawn. Black seems to have some relevant weaknesses on the white squares. But I think now I've played B3. I could play A3 and B4 as well. Okay, A3. This move has to be fine. Video dropped. Hey William, man, I haven't seen you since the WCN days. You were the admin. Oh, Lancelot, you were admin on WCN. The dude abides. There is a good poker player on Poker Stars from South Africa, I think. Dude abides. I play a lot of 180 man sit and goes against that guy. Dude abides, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I haven't really been that active in chess. I'm kind of getting back into it. Bishop E7. I don't really have that many useful moves here. Maybe it's time just to bring the knight back. So we'll just bring the knight back. It's a kind of normal position. The PDX Zion Lion says the video dropped. Maybe there's some Twitch commercials or something. So we'll just play a normal position now. Not too much exciting happening here. C5. And do I want to play with hanging pawns or do I want to exchange on D5? I don't have to do anything yet. I can just wait and see. Black's not threatening D4 quite yet. But a hedgehog formation, not the greatest with my knight on C3. So with the knight on C3, I think I need to commit to playing a D4 base structure. If I exchange on d5, black also has the option to take with a knight. But I just want to keep a kind of solid position here. Bishop e2. Bishop e2 is okay as well. I think if black plays knight c6, bishop c6, Okay, that's different. Well, now I think I have to play d4. Because I can't let black play d4 with my knight on c3. Bishop c6, I expected knight c6 there. I mean, bishop c6 is okay too for black. Game per frame says, isn't it a simple decision to take on d5? Yeah, I think normally, I don't think it's simple, because we can let black take on c4 and d4 and play a hanging pawn position. But I guess once I play the bishop to e2, we're probably not going to do that. Knight e4 here. Knight e4. Wow, I can take and play knight e5. But I might have issues with my knight getting trapped there. Because I don't have the d3 square or c4 square for my knight. So like knight takes e4, pawn takes knight e5, bishop e8, and my knight is... I have to play h3. So that's pretty disturbing. I guess bishop c3. Bishop c3, knight, bishop c3. Bishop to b2. The position looks about equal. But yesterday, Sophia Rajas just absolutely crushed me with perfect play in a Rossalimo Sicilian. So I'm a little bit scared, honestly, you know, about the strength of this player. The rating is a provisional one, so it's not 1900. It's 2390 in blitz now and going up. Game per frame. Knight e4 was a good move. I thought that c takes d5, e takes d5, d4 was great for white. Well, I don't think anything is great for white. You know, black hasn't really done anything wrong, so I don't think that any position can be great for me here. But okay, or yeah, perfectly normal would be like... Now I can take and play knight e5. And I think that's fine now. I just didn't want my knight getting trapped. But with the bishop on f6, it seems like this is fine for white now. White doesn't have to worry about my knight getting trapped on e5. Queen g5. And... Okay, queen g5 castles. If knight d7, I have queen d6, I guess. And if rook d8, I have queen c2 with the idea of queen c3. So long as I don't hang a pawn or something, white should be slightly better. Rook d8. I wonder if I should consider queen e1 in this position. Yeah, queen e1 is better because it doesn't allow black to play rook d3. Black has these tactics based on rook d3 if queen c2, so queen e1 stops that. Position is somewhat dangerous for me. Maybe I have to play king h1 at some point. Knight g6, f4. Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. Whew, it looks kind of dangerous. Double-edged. Knight g6, knight h4. Anyway, I think I'm going to have to play king h1 at some point. We can always play rook g1 if we have to defend the king side. So black relying purely on tactics here. Knight h4. Bishop d3 is a threat. Rook d3 is a threat. I could play g3. The white squares are very dangerous. Perhaps rook d1. And now f4 was playable but very risky with the bishop on c6. Maybe we could play g3. If knight h4, just g3. And we'll try to play rook d6 at some point. Sophia Rogers again playing almost perfectly. Bishop d7, yeah, it's kind of unusual game per frame, but I think under the circumstances, there are many openings like the Catalan that this happens, the French Rubinstein variation, Bishop d7 to c6, c3 Sicilian. I can name 3 or 4 different lines where Bishop d7, Bishop c6 is pretty standard. So we don't know who Sophia Rogers is, but obviously it's a master strength player. She said she's a woman, which is very possible, but whoever she is, it's got to be like over 2200 rated at least. I simply don't believe them if they claim that they haven't played rated games or anything like that. So whoever it is a strong player. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Knight e4 was a good move. Well, it's consistent. Black's playing on the white squares. The pawn on e4 with the bishop on c6, creating a lot of tactical possibilities for black. Here I have to be very careful. I didn't want to have to play g3, but I just felt that the f4 line that I could have played instead of rook d1 looked really risky. So pretty concrete position. I may be able to play something like bishop takes f3, h3, king h2, maybe just try to prevent black from mating me on the white squares. Guys, are we still good with the stream? I haven't seen any comments for a while.